everyone, it is Heather with Rose Hill Paper Cottage, and today I'm sharing my video for the Christmas Craft Off 24, which is hosted by Rach and Bella Crafts. There are 2 creators every day sharing what they've made with the prompt, and this started on November 1st. Today's the 25th, so it's my day, so this is well underway. And my partner is Kate, and we have the prompt Jingle Bell Tassels. So be sure to check out her video, along with all the others. There's tons and tons of inspiration out there, lots and lots of crafting going on, so a ton of fun. We are using the nostalgic Noel Kits, and let me tell you, there are so many papers, like tons and tons and tons. And I'll put a link below, not only just to find the videos, but also to find all these kits that are used. I didn't know which direction I was going to go in or what papers I was going to actually end up using. So I just, printed out a few things just to kind of get a feel for everything. But there are loads. I mean, if you want to go all red and green, you've got that. They've got you covered. If you want to go white, neutral, they've got you covered. So there's lots of different things. There's, fussy cuts and add-ons and journal pages, and there's just loads and loads of things to look through for inspiration, like a lot. So I'm just showing a few pages here that I had printed out because, again, I didn't know what direction I was going to kind of go in. And then, I love this pattern so much. I already cut out a tree. So that's probably going to be a future tassel. And then I also printed smaller. The reason I did that was I'm showing how the image gets smaller. So if you need to cut something out that's smaller, it's nice to be able to resize them. And I do have a real old video, maybe 2 years ago, on that. How sweet are those deer? I'm going to be using those because they're just so cute. But there's also all these other fun, I wanted to make like a bazillion of these. Because you just start seeing more and more images, and look at all these books and tickets, and oh my gosh, so cute. So cute for charms, so cute for making like tassels like I'll make today. I just love these Christmas signs. So these are absolutely adorable. I printed these really small, but it's actually not necessary if you're going to kind of create a tassel like I did today. The full-size image is perfect. But I didn't know, I didn't know how big I was going to make my tassel, what it's going to be used for, all that sort of stuff. But I could just see myself spending like hours and hours making all these because they're just so cute. And then this is like thumbnail size because I thought, what if I did something like really miniature? That would be really cute too. So who knows what may happen this Christmas season. But anyway, there's lots and lots and lots to look at. So the first thing I did was, which I always do, I always just pull everything that I think I could use, might use. So I just started pulling all the different trims, and you're going to see I'm leaning towards more neutral because, again, I'm going to use that deer image. And so I just went neutral, but you don't have to. You can make them any color you want. So there's like baker's twine and yarns, and this is like a shimmery embroidery thread. I don't know if it has a special name, but anyway, it's there. But any kind of string, any kind of ribbons, you could just pull all of it. Another idea is not only can you create these with just cutting, a rectangle, a square, but you could also use die cuts. If you happen to have an embossing machine and dies, you can grab some of those and see if those will work, or little wooden pieces. Cookie cutters are also great, especially if it's more of an intricate design. It just kind of helps. You can just trace it out on the paper. But she does have loads and loads of fussy cuts that are already there, like stockings and trees and all that sort of stuff. So you could just utilize those too. I didn't print any of those out, but be sure to check all those out. Then I also gathered some bells. I have many different sizes. I've got really teeny tiny ones to really large ones. Some of them I have rusted. Some of them are silver, but then these really tiny ones that were silver, I actually used some alcohol ink and just used a cotton ball and dabbed the color around on the bell. And I used that latte. I just wanted a little bit of a warmer tone. So that's an idea for that. I'm sure they come in gold as well, but the ones I grabbed happened to be silver. Although those would be cute in a tassel as well. So, but you'll see. Bear with me. I'll get there. So I'm going to use a postage stamp die. And what I did was I cut these out. I cut out the deer image separately, and then I cut out white cardstock. So that way then when I basically trimmed all of the scalloped edge off of the deer image and then glued it on top of the white cardstock. And that just looks more postage stampy to me. Is stampy a word? I don't know. Probably not, but I've used it. You could also do circles. I mean, that's so easy, and you could trace around, a small jar, cup, a lid, something. But I'm showing you here how all these cute, adorable signs, which are just, I love them, are pretty much the same size as what I'm using. So you could just, cut out the rectangle. You could also use decorative edge scissors if you have them to kind of create it, if you want it to look like a postage stamp. But you know what? It's not necessary. It's going to be cute regardless. You could actually even add glitter and, all that sort of stuff to the edges. You can get all sorts of fancy. So really lots and lots of ideas. So basically the first thing I did was I started out with, one of the strings, just kind of measuring about what I wanted. And then from that, then I was able to just do a whole bunch. So you'll see me cut, lots of different ones. And you can make this as full or as thin as you want. It really depends on how you use it. I mean, I think these are so cute, not just for journals, but Happy Mail. You could hang these from your tree. You could use these as a gift tag. There's lots of different options for, using these. You could hang them on a doorknob. So I love them. So you can see here, this is a great project to do lots of them. And then you could cut different lengths, make shorter ones, longer ones, whatever you want to do. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to tie on some bells. So I have a needle here, and it just has a larger eye hole. I think they call them maybe darning needles. I can't remember. But anyway, you can see the difference there with the larger hole. The first thing you want to do, though, is just make sure it goes through the whole of, what if you're stringing beads or bells or whatever. And then you can, thread your yarn. I think I'm using some of the sparkly embroidery floss there. You can thread it and then thread it through your bells, fairly easy. So, I'm trimming it a bit, to help it guide through. And I just kind of wiggle it, I guess. You could also use what do they call those? Those threader things. You could poke it through and, I think you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, you could do that, but I like to rough it and I like to just do it the most difficult way possible. So anyway, I'm just tying them on with using the actual thread itself. That's it. I didn't even double knot it. I'm wild like that. I just did one tie and that's it. And I'm just hoping for the best that they don't fall off, but you could double knot it. And I think I'll do 4 of them. A lot of all these yarns and trims and everything I have gotten since I have been here. I didn't bring any of these with me. But look around your craft room. There's tons and tons of different, things that you can find. If you're in the US, you've got Hobby Lobby, you're good to go. You've got all kinds of different choices there. Here, I think I went to The Works and Hobbycraft. I'm trying to think, maybe even B&M. I think they've got some yarn and stuff. So just, look around your surroundings, or just, raid your craft room and you'll find a lot of, different pretty strings that you can use. Especially now with Christmas, there's all kinds of really pretty ribbons and such out there. So I think I was going to add another one and I changed my mind. And I'm just kind of offsetting them. But honestly, it doesn't really matter, because once you go to fluff it all, you can kind of line things up how you want, add, to it if you want to. It all just depends. So I'm going to use this sparkly trim for the actual tie portion that's going to go up through the top. So you kind of want to cut it long. I just eyeballed it and I got kind of lucky at the end, but you want to make sure that that piece is long enough for you for the way that I am doing this. So I've just put it around once, and then I'm just tying it. I don't even think I knot it here either. I'm really getting risky, aren't I? I probably should have knotted it, but I didn't. That just goes to show you, this is very forgiving. This is so simple and so forgiving. So I'm just going to add some glue, and I'm going to run my strings up through, which is why I did 2 prints. I am using claw glue in like a little small thing, but art glitter glue would be perfect for this. Because, it's small detail. I want to get around all the postage stamp, but just use whatever glue that you love. And then I'm just going to match it up, and then I'll wait a little bit for it to dry. It takes a little bit longer to dry than like art glitter glue and stuff, so I have to wait a little bit. So here I am back. It's dried. And you can tie the top like that, but I'm actually going to take both of them and tie them. I don't know that it matters, honestly, really either way. But just tying them double like this gives me kind of like a nice little like ball of sparkle, if that makes sense. But if you're just using yarn or string, then that probably won't even matter. And then I just use my fingers to manipulate it so that I make sure that the tied part is all the way at the top there. So then I can add my bells on. More bells. I already added bells, but there's going to be more bells. So I'm going to thread this again, and I think I'm going to use the bigger eye hole because it'll go through the Jingle Bell top, no problem. And I believe I used 3, and I will thread all of them on the one string. I could have thread them on the different ones, but, it worked. It was fine. So I think it's cute, like a little cluster there. I like how that looks. So then I tied that so that the jingle bells wouldn't fall off. And I did knot this one. And then you'll see I barely had enough at the top to like kind of make the little hang part. And look how cute that is. Now you could like, instead of just doing the one single image and the bells on top, I mean, you could, layer like a couple of different images if you wanted to. So there's lots of different ways that you can do that topper part. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it off to make it look more like a tassel. And I am just using some of the glitter embroidery thread, and you can wind it around. You could just tie it once, but if you want it to look more tassel-like, you could wind it around, several times to kind of give it more of a like a band. And I'll wrap it a few times. And I'll show up close. So I wrapped it around a few times, and so you can see it has more of a band. And look how cute that is. That turned out so cute. So I also made a bag out of tracing paper. I used one of the images, and then I thought, how cute would this be to like just, give it as a gift? or like for a journal or Happy Mail or whatever. I just thought it was absolutely adorable. So then another thing that I made was this cute bookmark, kind of taken the same method of all the strings and stuff, but I just used one of the images and tied it on the front, kind of like a buckle, like a band, something like that. But I just love how that turned out, and this will be perfect to put into a journal, I think. So I hope you love the project, and I hope you'll make something too. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you next time.